JoJo has won Part 1 of the 3-part final Head of Household competition. Who will win Part 2? Find out now on Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All-Stars. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsek Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All-Stars. It's day 95 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and JoJo, Chantel, and Jonathan are the final 3. Yesterday, JoJo won Part 1 in the Big Brother Minority Deal competition, and who will win Part 2? We'll find out shortly. But first, a reminder that and I'm going to say this every day, the Jury Roundtable, hosted by Nick Lindsay, and a special guest co-host from Big Brother US. Hint, she's a mom. Will be this Sunday at 5 p.m. It's going to be lit. Speaking of lit, I heard that the most recent episode of Extra Whip with, I believe, Curtis, Nicole, Brazil, Nick and Lindsay, I assume, was fantastic. I will be watching it tonight, and my thoughts on that will be in Sunday's episode. So, actually, yeah, sure, why not? But I am moving the recipe up from Tuesday to Sunday because I bought the ingredients and I can't take it anymore. I need to make it now. So the recipe will be moved up to Sunday. And I will have my thoughts on reality realness. No! My thoughts on Extra Whip. You know, it took a good 2 weeks to stop saying we leave you as we eavesdrop on the house guests. So it's going to take till the end of this season for sure to remember to say Extra Whip. Because every time Kat and I go to the Cheesecake Factory, I say no whip because I don't mind the whipped cream, but it's probably a good 200 calories. So my philosophy, one of the reasons why I'm able to stay thin, because people always ask, why are you so thin when you eat like so many Tim Hortons donuts all the time? I only eat calories that are sex, that I'm going to enjoy. And the whipped cream, I don't enjoy it. The cheesecake is sex. But of course, Kat always goes, extra whip! So yeah, that's where the name came from. The extra whip that goes on your cheesecake, which makes sense because it's Big Brother Cheesecake. But yeah, I heard it's fantastic and I will watch it tonight and my thoughts on it will be on Sunday's episode. Did I say Sunday? Oh, it might be Saturday. Sometime I will discuss. Okay. One thing I forgot to do, I'm going to do it now. When Brazil and Chantel were nominated last week, I forgot to read their final plea. And since they are both rather unique final pleas, I'm going to do it now. So, this is old news, but it's kind of interesting. So, Brazil said, final plea, heads or tails. Thumbs up this post for heads, downvote this post for tails. I put thumbs up. Of course, Jonathan put thumbs down. Okay, Chantel said, Jonathan, you asked me to play this season because you wanted to play Cheesecake with me again, and as a trio. It wasn't reality realness with 3 S's, it was 3 friends that wanted to work together to hopefully get to the end. The hope is gone because we did it. We got here together. I always envisioned the 3 of us at the end. That never wavered. Ask Andrew. I'm so proud of us. We did what we said we would do, and that was to be final 3. I love playing orgs with you. You better not retire. The 3 S's, I must say, is the best alliance out there. Okay. So let's move on now to, so the jury. So I asked the jurors to discuss their most embarrassing moment and the craziest place they've had sex. That lasted a good maybe hour before the conversation got derailed. So I will read as much as I can before it gets derailed. So for the last time this season, let's check in with the jury house. I'm Brazil. The craziest place I've had sex would be either the Liberty Bell on SJSU campus or at a Sharks Ducks playoff game. I can't believe you've done either of those, but okay. Where at a Sharks-Ducks playoff game? Like, arenas are gross. Like the bathroom? Ew. Maybe center ice I would accept. Anyway, most embarrassing moment, I peed my pants in 2nd grade in front of the whole class because I was scared of my teacher since I lived in an Air Force base. Ooh, I wonder if your teacher was hot. Okay. Why are we doing this? Why is this happening? We all know Trump is the most embarrassing thing ever. Craziest place I've had sex is on top of a marshmallow. Most embarrassing thing is having the marshmallow cop win illegally stripped from me to push Andrew's preferred narrative. Craziest place I've had sex in was a clear glass elevator inside of a casino with Andrew Cuomo. My most embarrassing moment is trusting Jonathan and JoJo. Again. Craziest sex in a research library. Embarrassing moment? I legit don't give a fuck what people think. But we live in our own head, so this is hard. But Meg reminds me about 15 years ago her brother, then 5, accidentally yanked my yoga pants down while in line at the post office. He was trying to climb on me. Hello there, I'm Curtis from South Africa. We know! Craziest sex would have to be in the radio studio at Humber College. I was there today. Oh my god, that was embarrassing. Okay. The most embarrassing moment for me would be my mom yelling at me at school in front of my friends and teachers when I got suspended for stealing car symbols in the neighborhood. I still can't believe you stole car symbols. And that would be my neighborhood because we lived like 2 streets away. That is libel, sir. Well, not really. But anyway, and I think that was, oh, and then the craziest place I've had sex was Kevin's apartment, but we realized way too late the window was wide open and there was a bunch of construction workers right outside working. I mean, that's crazy, right? I mean, I used to live in a mansion with Cheryl and now I live in a basement. This is what my life is now. Most embarrassing moment, unwittingly telling a lady I hated her son. I was like 14, but it's burned in my brain. And that son was me. No, just kidding. Joanne, we all want to know what's your most where's the craziest place you've had sex? Come on, Joanne. Okay, fine, I'll do it. I'm Joanne. Look at me. I've had sex in sex while sexing the sex. Also boobs. Okay, and that's about it. And then they talked about Big Brother Canada 9. If you have not watched the episode yet, fast forward what I'm about to say. I really liked Julie and I wanted her to stay, but I totally get why she was evicted. I am happy that... Actually, I think the episode was... I mean, we didn't see the feed, so it's tough to say for sure, but I think the episode was edited very well and gave a relatively accurate display of what was going on compared to usual. But again, we don't know the full story, but I get the sense of... You kind of know when maybe it's being a super fan, but you kind of know when it's a fake edit, even if you've not been on the feeds much. Like, even Nick, who doesn't watch the feeds, is like, I don't know, this is really what happened. So, it's... This one seemed legit, and so far I'm really liking the season, so fingers crossed it stays that way. I'm also happy Josh stayed. Josh is hot. Rohan is hot. Josh, by the way, if you're watching this later on, I need your number. Thank you. Rohan is hot. Basically, actually, you know what? Is there even any guy? Kiefer, I'm sorry. Nice guy, but not hot. But everybody else, every other male in the house, I think, is hot. Yeah. Or is at least, you know, good enough. Yeah, anyway. Okay. So, now let's get to, last but not least, part 2 of the 3-part Head of Household competition. So, Chantel and Jonathan, for losing part 1, you will have to face off against each other in part 2. And whoever wins will face off against JoJo in part 3. Part 2 of the final 3-part Head of Household competition is called Big Brother Timeline. And here's how it works. I will read you a list of 26 things that happened, and you have to place them in chronological order, starting with the earliest. Once you are correct, you will then be given a 11-letter phrase that you must unscramble to make a phrase. Okay, so I will read them in the order that I send them to the house guests, and I will reveal the order after. So in case you want to play along, it's going to be tough. I don't think anybody's going to want to play along, but just in case, I'm going to do it in that order. So, A. JoJo wins his first Golden Veto competition of the season. B. Chanel wins her second competition of the season. C. Ashley appears in an episode. D. Andrew shares Rhonda's weight loss collage in an episode. E. Spenny roasts Joanne. F. Larry David complains about tap water. G. Cher sings Strong Enough. H. Mitch McConnell guest hosts an episode. I. Brazil earns the Sapphire Power Veto. J. Rhonda earns her Pooh Brown Power Veto. K. Andrew dances the Scarn. L. Rhonda is nominated for the first time. M. Krista appears as a guest co-host. N. Andrew reveals Redemple Temple is within the house. O. Lindsay screws up being the middleman in a competition. P. Kat wins a bonus prize for defeating Charlene in a Redemple Temple duel. Q. Andrew puts the Yangra buff on his bedroom door. R. Andrew imitates Chanel's boyfriend in an episode. S. Monopoly properties auctioned off. T. Lynn from Season 4 appears on an episode for the first time. U. The veto wheel lands on Amethyst's veto. V. Tiffany appears as a guest co-host. W. Andrew films an episode with the camera Nick Lindsay Marson bought him. X. Marson appears as a guest co-host. Y. Jonathan thinks he has thyroid cancer. And Z. Andrew tapes up the first star on his shirt. And yes, Canadians say Z, not Z. Fun fact. And the correct answer is, spoiler alert, here it comes, ULDNRHFOZAWYPBCGXJTEIVKMQS. Marston's like, nailed it. I got it right. Okay, so is everybody ready? Let's get to the results. Okay, so we'll start with Chantal. Chantal got it right the very first time. I was very impressed. Even the trap, which one was the trap answer? Well, it wasn't a trap answer, but Jonathan thinks he has thyroid cancer was difficult because that was the character Vinny in the clip of Doogie Howser that I played. It wasn't actually Jonathan worried that he has thyroid cancer. But Chantal got it right away in 61 minutes. Then she took 9 more minutes to get the unscrambled thing, which was, by the way, in a previous episode. The letters were DORIASEMYSX. This was in a previous episode. It was actually the immunity challenge that I won in Ecstasy Survivor shout out. And when you unscramble that, it makes 6 more days. Which is how many days we have left. So 6 more days. She got that in 9 minutes, so her total is 70 minutes. Jonathan saw this competition and said, I have the worst memory. This isn't my comp. I'm not doing it. I would have to go back and watch every video and make notes of every day. So no thank you. Chantal has already done that, so I'm sure she has a good time. Is that your final answer? One of the 3 of us remaining in the house works 12 to 16 hours a day. The others don't. Yes, that's my final answer. I'm not doing it. Which means Chantal, since Jonathan disqualified himself, Chantal, congratulations! You have won part 2 of the 3-part final head of household competition, and you will face off against JoJo, which will be today. It will only take about 5 minutes, so whenever you're ready, let me know. We can agree on a time. I will pull the bus over for the 5 minutes. Don't worry. Yeah, anytime today up until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can do it. Okay, so Chantal or JoJo, who will win part 3 of the final 3-part head of household competition? Find out tomorrow, and I will have my thoughts on Extra Web. Sunday is the final recipe of the season, and the final head of household will have to cast their vote to evict, where they will choose who to evict and who to bring with them to the final 2, and we will reveal the identities of the final 2. Monday is the jury roundtable hosted by Nick Lindsay and a special guest co-host from Big Brother US. She is a mom with kids. And Tuesday, the jury will cast their votes for the winner, and I will have a preview on what is to come in Season 6. And Wednesday is the finale night, where after 100 days, we will finally crown the winner of Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All-Stars. I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Take care, and remember, the best part of waking up is shaking out your morning wood into your cup. Good night.